Okay, so we discussed in the past raycast 2D and 3D, which basically use it for tech stuff. It's a collider in the shape of a line that lasts one frame. But I would like to discuss how to find all objects within a certain range. So for that, and we'll do that for 2D, but this applies to 3D as well. So for that, we have this function here called the overlap circle all. So what this will do is like a raycast, so it will create a collider, a temporary collider that lasts one frame in the shape of a circle, and get all those get all the objects within that circle. But it's important to note that to get the objects, those objects need to have a 2D collider in this case. So I made here a very simple scene. We have this white circle in the middle that will represent the player, and then we have some circles of different colors around the player, and we'll use this function to find those. So I made a simple script. Let me just open it 1 second. So I will show you how to get all these circles and then only a certain color, and then how to find the closest one to the player. So I made a very simple script here. 1 second. And also, you can see that these circles have their own physics there. So the green one has the green layer, the other one has the red layer, and the other one has the blue layer. Because, like I said, I will also explain how to get only a certain color, or maybe multiple colors as well. So let's start with how to get all the objects within a certain distance from the player. So this function right here, I made a function, and you see we have a parameter here, so we can um, select a certain distance. So this function here, physics to the overlap circle, will return an array of colliders, which I declare it here. So we have this array of colliders, and this function will return those colliders. So the first parameter in the function is the position. So where do we start this overlap circle? In this case, is the position of the player, and the player has this script, so transform position, and then the range. So how big this circle should be, and then we debug. So debug log means we show a message in the console. In this case, we just want to show how many colliders there are in this array. So in the start function, we'll call this function to demonstrate that they work. Let me comment some of them. So let's start with this one. We give it a very big range. So this, if you do this, we should get all the circles. So let's see if that works. And then I'll show you how to get only a certain color. So now if I press play, we should get a message here in the console with a number, the total number of circles in the scene, because I gave it a very big radius. Yes, so you see it's 15. So let's see if that is correct. So we have 6 plus 5, that's 11, and then plus 4, that's 15. So yeah, that's okay. So it does work. Okay, so let me comment that here. And now let's discuss the next one. Yeah, this one here. So this will get only the circles with a certain color. So it's exactly the same, but as parameters, we also use a layer mask. So with a layer mask, you can select only certain physics layers with this. So if we go here in the inspector to the player, you see I have three mask layers here, but I forgot to change the value here. So you can select one layer or multiple, but in this case we just want one for each color, like that. So the only difference is here, after the range we have another parameter, which is the layer mask. So which layer we target. So let's try with the blue layer. Let's see if that works. So we'll just display the number of blue circles now. And I will repeat myself, but the circles must have a collider, otherwise you cannot use this. So you see we have 4 circles, blue circles, and it says 4 here in the console, so it does work. Now let's see how to find the closest object within that range, that radius. So the first thing we do is we get all the objects within that range, and then we create a float here, minimum distance, and give it a ridiculous value, a very big value, and then we have a transform variable that we'll use to save the closest object. So we go from the beginning to the end of this array, so we go collider by collider, and then we calculate the distance between the collider and the player in this case. So you see here it is the transform position of the collider minus the transform position, so this is the position of the player, and then we say dot magnitude. So without magnitude, this is a vector 3 that represents both the length and direction, but we only want the length, so we say magnitude. Magnitude means the length of that vector. So once we have that distance, we check if that distance is smaller than our minimum, and if it is, then the minimum becomes that distance, and then we save that collider. So that and here at the end we just debug the name of that that object that is the closest. But this works for it's the same logic for finding the furthest object. You just change a couple of things. So instead of minimum distance, you would have max distance and set it to something very low. And then here in this if you just say bigger, so it's not that different. And if you want to only target a certain layer physics layer, you just add a layer mask here in the when you use the overlap circle function. So let's see if this works. I'll just comment the other one. Wait. Yes, this one. Okay. And let's see if it works. So now we should see in the console the closest object to the player. It says it's a blue circle 3, so let's see if that's true. Yes, that seems to be the closest. So yeah, it works. So I guess that's everything you need to know about the overlap circle.